what is your preference? A gas grill or charcoal? Take a second, sit around with me around the bed and listen to some of my insights on why I choose charcoal. If anybody is new to the channel, I'm whispering because I do a lot of ASMR type videos revolved around fires, cooking, and ASMR. Believe it or not, I used to have a gas grill, and there is nothing wrong with that kind of setup. As you can see here, I have two different kinds of charcoal, and this is not a sponsored video. I just think Kingsford sells a good brisket. We have a smaller bag over here to the left, and then a larger one to the right. So, in the past, we did have a gas grill. The nice thing about gas grill is there is no smoke. You can start it up relatively quickly. You do have to buy fuel, obviously, just like the charcoal. I would say, price-wise, it's relatively comparable. However, with my experience, I have found charcoal to be more efficient. You can know exactly how much charcoal you will use visually, and you can see how much is left in the bag. With charcoal, you can actually have an open grill, which I actually find, sorry, I got something in my eye, which I actually find more enjoyable for whatever reason. So before I get into the nuts and bolts, I'd like to say that we've had this bag, this one right here, for quite some time. I actually saved this charcoal for if I need to get a fire going in a pinch. It's nice to have a few briskets, and you put it inside, deep inside, all the wood stacked, and it self-ignites, and it's a lot cheaper than any kind of lighter fluid or fire starter material that you can buy in the store. That's a little trick I want to share. And these bags are not cheap. I think they're between, this bag right here, probably between $7 and $10. But the main reason we got it was to take it on trips. So if we stay somewhere, we don't have to worry about fuel, since it has fuel already saturated. I will say, my opinion, I feel like the original burns a lot better than when the fluid is added. That's just my opinion. It could be psychological. this is very convenient. So, especially for camping, park camping, this way when you're taking your trip, you don't have to worry about fuel if you're in a car. Just one less thing. So, even though I think charcoal is a little bit cheaper, you still have to buy a lighter fluid. Like for this kind, the original. And there's lots of different other brands that I have yet to try. So, I feel like charcoal, though, is more of a throwback. And nothing wrong with gas grill. Like I said, we've used both. Gas is a little quicker. I would say it's more convenient if you have a bunch of people. If you have a lid on your grill, as I do not, food can cook faster. However, I've gotten very accustomed to seeing my food cook, and I prefer to have an open grill like what you see here. And I feel like the briskets give a lot of flavor to the meats or poultry or, the fish, chicken, and meat. Also, corn and everything like that tastes better in my opinion. So, this was a lot cheaper to build, this fire pit, than it would be to get a gas grill. And the reason why I decided to go away from the gas grill is not just the gas, but the fact that the gas grill is made of steel. Every time it rains and the humidity really wears out and rusts out the metal, so the frame would always fall apart. This grate we have had for at least 6 or 7 years, and it's still going strong. We leave it outside. Obviously, I clean it before we use it every time. So we got some center blocks. We leveled it out, or I leveled it out, and I built a little chimney. This is mainly due to not having all the smoke come back in my face. So when we're cooking, a lot of the smoke goes up towards the back instead of out towards the front. Also in the winter, the chimney helps keep the smoke from the fire away from us, just the same as the food, and I think it keeps some of the heat in. So, back to the charcoal. And what is your opinion? Please write in the comments below. Do you prefer gas grill or charcoal? The one thing I never liked about the gas grill is when you run out of gas, and you might not know how much is left unless you have a gauge. Well, gauges cost money. Also, gauges aren't always accurate. The thing about coal, you can actually visually see how much is lit and how much time you have, and usually once you start using coal, you have an idea of how long it lasts, and it only takes about 10 to 20 minutes to get the coals heated up and get them prepped to be able to start cooking. I feel like it's just more efficient. So both you have to pick up at the store. You both have, you have to get a bag of charcoal. You also have to get a tank of fuel. And generally the way it works is you have 2 tanks, and every time you exchange one, they don't charge you. At least where we are, they don't charge you for the price of the actual tank, but they do charge you for a refill. So most people have 2. It makes sense. But the people that are selling, the companies, that's just repeat business for them. Both ways, really. So the nice thing about the charcoal, when you refill, you don't have to take back a heavy tank to the store, which I really like. And if you have a car, you have to strap that thing down or put it where it doesn't roll around. There is also the risk of having propane possibly explode, which I just don't like that liability. And let's say you have an old grill or you have a problem with one of the lines, you could have a gas leak, and that is a hazard. Both have their own hazards. Both need to be respected. Yeah, so obviously this is a fire pit grill I created, but the nice thing about this is there's a lot less cleaning than an actual charcoal grill that you would have a lid over. Every once in a while, I just get a little baggie, grocery bag, and scoop up the ash and put it away. Take it away. And that's it. There is no spilling on the ground. It's already contained in a circle on the ground. I feel like most gas grills, though, you have a lot of moving parts. You got bolts. You have these big brand names. A lot of decent gas grills are $500+. So this is a lot more economical in my opinion. There's nothing to rust here. The only thing that I will have to replace at some point might be the grate. And it was at the time like $20, so I would have to find something pretty comparable. I don't think they make these grates anymore. I think that for at least this brand, they do make grates, but not the one that I have here. I forget the name of the brand, but I think though that the company that made these specifically, I'm not sure if they're in business anymore. I think the gas market really put them out. So yeah, my choice is charcoal. It's easier, for me at least. I can do it over an open pit, and I don't have to use this kind of charcoal if I want. I can actually use firewood and have a fire first and burn down the fire to where there are coals, and then take this grate, throw it down, and all I have is 2 bricks, and I have it kind of semi-leveled out. And I've cooked enough on it to where you can regulate the heat depending on how high the coals are to the top of or underneath the grate. With a gas grill, you have the knobs, so this is kind of like a manual car versus an automatic. And I've always been a fan of automatic cars, so I'm not going to argue with you there. Nothing wrong with a gas grill, but I feel like this is a much more natural, simplistic way to cook. And I have done some cooking with smokers. Smokers are, I would say, in the same kind of genre of charcoal. They use a different kind of charcoal. I haven't cooked on a big green egg, but I have cooked on one of their competitors. It was a smaller one, and I did all the cooking all the time for the people that I did it for, that I used to cook for, friends and family of mine. That requires a little bit more attention, in my opinion. There's a lot more contained heat, and you have to really, you have to actually burp it. But anyways, that's not about smokers. But yeah, there's other things you can do with the charcoal. You can get specific charcoal that actually does have flavor in it. I've just get what works, and usually I get 2 bags of these because it's just easier, and I only have to get it so every often, and I don't use too much. Usually there's just 2 slices of meat whenever I cook on this grill, and yeah, it's very efficient. This is 1 grate, so on a normal grill there'd be 4 of these, and a lot of people don't realize that you don't have have some massive, fancy grill to cook really high quality meat. I've cooked, tenderloin. I've cooked, nice chicken wings. I've cooked very nice hamburgers, filet mignon, you name it. So I hope this gives some of you guys some ideas. Anybody new to this channel, welcome. Feel free to put your comments down below. There'll be much more videos in the future. I like to refer to these as, fire pit talk, ASMR type videos. If there's any subjects or topics that you guys are interested, again, feel free to put in the comments. That's what it's there for. Make sure you have a safe and good Memorial Day weekend. If you're out in the water, be safe. If you're at the beach, be safe. Or if you're up in the mountains, be safe. But most importantly, be outside. Possibly have a nice controlled fire, good food, and enjoy time with your friends and family.